Today, we're going to cover a new music licensing subscription app for the creator economy called TrackClub. Hold up, I know what you're thinking. Aren't all music licensing sites the same? You just pay a monthly fee, and then you can use that music in your YouTube videos and commercial work and other creative projects. Check, check. But wait until I show you how TrackClub has just flipped the industry on its head. They offer a mix lab where you can fully customize their songs before you download them for your videos. Every one of you should try it out, at least, to improve your editing process and enhance your production value. I've been using TrackClub for the past month and a half on all of my videos, and I'll show you why they are now my go-to when it comes to music. I don't think I'll ever go back to the old way where I just drag a fully mixed song onto my timeline, because that really does cripple your creative freedom. If you're into cameras and gear and how to make better videos, be sure to subscribe and like this video to see more just like this one. This video is being sponsored by TrackClub, but I promise you I only agreed to do this video because I know it will bring you value. A link for 1 month free will be in the description, and if you stick around somewhere between now and the end of the video, I'll share with you a few pro tips on my workflow when I'm searching for the proper music for my videos. Let me show you what I mean. And that's what we're gonna cover today on the Film Alliance. Before we start, let me give you some context on how TrackClub is doing it differently. They just recently opened their doors to allow fully customizable music by downloading their stems of the song, and then you can reconfigure the song to fit your needs for whatever video you're creating. This way, you can score your own video as if you're the conductor of an orchestra. Conventionally, what I used to do is just go to a music licensing site, download a song that I liked, and then just drag it onto my timeline. And that was great and all, but it didn't allow room for me to adjust for some of the parts in the videos that needed to be louder. I literally had to go and chop up the full mixed song to make my own kind of tracks, but this wasn't most time efficient for me. It didn't sound that great after the final product was finished, and it also put a cap on that creative freedom that wanted to run free. Creators and brands can use TrackClub's never-before-seen in-app music customization feature for videos and podcasts to infinitely customize any song by muting one of the tracks or soloing it out, adjusting the volume levels or even the BPM. And then you download the custom mix that you just created for your video, which may have a high probability that you are the only one using that custom mix on the entire internet. To show you how this works, I'm gonna be using that short film that I created on my last video. If you haven't seen that one, go check it out. And I'm gonna show you how I was able to go into TrackClub and individually pick out the stems that I wanted to help bring more emotion to the video itself. I'm telling you that this is a game changer because now you have full control over the music that enters your video. People are always wondering how they can step up their video game, and I think that this is a way that you can absolutely start putting out content that you are in full control of. Once you start to use this type of thing, it'll change up your game, and it's almost hard to go back to the other guys where you just drag the full mixes on. So first I'll show you the website layout and how I find my songs, and then I'll show you how to use MixLab to customize your own stems, to create your own custom mix. And then we'll go into Final Cut Pro and I'll show you how I edit it. By using TrackClub, you will have greater creative control over your sound, all without leaving your browser. You can quickly and easily perfect any song for any project. So this is a song called Into the Dark that I found on TrackClub. And as soon as I heard it, I started to think, what could I use this song for? And it kind of just happened perfectly that I found a trailer in the woods and it made this song perfect. To maximize the emotion and the effect, I needed to almost do a slow build until we got to that climactic part. So I started off by going into the mix lab for Into the Dark, and I just started to go through and listen to each one of the stems, and instantly I found this synth sounding melody which would be perfect to introduce the video itself, and so that's what I used.
I used to think these woods were so beautiful when the sun was low.
After we kind of let that emotion build a little bit, then we added 3 piano keys that had a creepy sound to them. And I was thinking at the time, I'm just gonna edit 3 different shots to set the scene. So it looks like this.
As I know these woods better than he does.
Then we introduced the vocals as we proceeded closer to the escape scene.
But I can't look away.
Freedom is in the eye of the beholder.
Nowhere to turn to, no place to
I actually acapella'd the singing vocals under the voiceover and throughout the rest of the establishing scene sequence. At this point, we're just building a score that will climax as she escapes, and that's exactly what we did. At this point, I ended up using the entire mix because I wanted the music to be as full as possible during the chase.
into the dark.
To give you some context of what it would have sounded like if I was just to drop this entire song into the timeline, this is what it would have sounded like.
You stayed in the shadows, but I can't look away. Nowhere to turn to.
Let me show you another video where I did the same thing, where I used a fully customized song and kind of danced around what I was saying. Just listen to how I put these bells in different spots before the main video finally picks up. I started posting to my channel regularly in June of 2020, and from then until August 2022, my channel sat in a stagnant state of slow growth. I was only posting videos on topics based on what interested me, but when I realized my numbers hadn't grown much, I decided to reevaluate what would be the best course moving forward for me and my channel. Track Club's music quality is exceptionally high. It's music you'd actually listen to, made by real artists. Their library is hyper curated. You don't have to weed through a ton of bad options just to find that one good one. This is something that I've had to deal with in the past. I would literally have to spend hours looking for that perfect song, and I have not found that to be the case with Track Club. Don't forget that the music shouldn't be an afterthought. A good song can take your content to the next level. Something I can see a beginner might be afraid of is just how overwhelming finding the right song can be when there's thousands of songs to choose from. Let me show you my workflow on how I search for the proper music that I think will fit the video well. Here's a pro tip. Look for the music before you even start the script. You'll thank me later. There's nothing like hearing a song as you're scripting. Once you start to let that creative juice start to flow, you almost can't stop, and you come up with some great thoughts rather than just trying to script in silence. I try to do this on every one of my videos, but sometimes I don't have the time to. All right, so here we have a video that I haven't scored yet. Like I said, normally I would go out and pick my music before I even shoot the video, but for training purposes only, let's pretend like the video's already shot and we have to go out now and figure out which music is gonna go good with this video. Like I said, normally I wouldn't create a video until both the music has been picked and the thumbnail is made. But for the purposes of sharing with you my process, let's just pretend like I don't already have this video shot and scripted. Right off the top, let me know which one of these two cameras you like better, and then edit your comment by the end if I change your mind. If you stick around, I'll tell you which one of these two cameras is my favorite, and it may not be what you think. When I hear the first few lines of the video, I think of a battle between two cameras. I know people are passionate about this stuff, but we don't want to mess with people's emotions, so we're gonna go with some happy, maybe ambient, cinematic type stuff, but we can't just start off with the hard-hitting stuff. We're gonna have to find a song and then go into MixLab and slowly build it up as we get to the introduction, which is the hard-hitting stuff. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to jump into Track Club and find a song using their smart filters. You can scroll through these filters to hone in on whatever you like. If you want the mood to be cinematic, you could do that. The genre to be ambient, or however you envision your video to look and feel. Sometimes I'll add more filters or remove filters if I'm not able to communicate with Track Club's search engine on what exactly it is that I want. In this case, I think we should be fine. So I go down the line and see if these songs are what I'm envisioning. I do like what I'm hearing here, but I want to do a little bit deeper of a dive on the song that I'm envisioning. So I'm actually gonna go to the smart filter arc ascending, because I want the song to actually ascend. If after picking the song you realize that you've used it before, you can always go down to the similar songs if you're trying to have all of your videos have a similar feel, rather than doing what I do and just going all over the place. I'm really enjoying this song by Graham Barton called Aperture, so that's what I'm gonna go with for this video. So I'm gonna click on it and then go into the MixLab and start listening to the different stems to see what I can kind of create on my own. So the way that I do this is I like to solo parts out to see what sounds good alone And then I start to develop an idea of how I want the intro to go. I know this part is going to be the climax for the intro itself, but up until that point, I really want to lay out a smooth intro. You can mix the song right here in the mix lab by adjusting the volumes and even changing the BPM. I'll start pulling out some of the stems and downloading them, and I'm gonna pull the sample, the guitar, and the vocals, I think, as my intro. Once I downloaded those, I'll put them into my editor, which in this case is Final Cut Pro, and I'll open a new event and then drag those 3 stems, making sure they're all lined up. Usually I like to start with one of these 3 stems in my introduction. I think that the samples are kind of cool, so I'm gonna go with that. I'll copy that into my actual timeline of the main video and then start chopping broccoli until I feel like I have a good rhythm. Now this is just the starting phase. You can always go back and test out whether the vocals or the guitar sounds better. After you feel the tempo and the talk and the flow of the video, you can taper in the other 2 tracks. So by the time the intro actually gets there, you can just crank that music. Right off the top, let me know which one of these 2 cameras you like better, and then edit your comment by the end if I change your mind. If you stick around, I'll tell you which one of these 2 cameras is my favorite, and it may not be what you think. Now let's go back into the Track Club website. If you don't want to search through specific filters, you can always use the Discover tab, which will give you the featured artists, playlists, new releases, and trending songs. Here's another pro tip. I always spend the first 5 minutes browsing through the new releases because you never know what you're gonna get. In fact, the music I found for the first part of this video was found in the new releases. Now you do have to go to your account settings and go to channels and then input your particular channel so that Track Club will automatically clear your video once it gets uploaded to YouTube. I've been experiencing a copyright dispute on the upload of my videos, but it does eventually clear within about 10 minutes. And I was told my account may have a bug, and usually it'll be cleared virtually instantly. But that's just my experience with it. If you have another channel not associated with your Track Club account, then you'll need to manually clear your videos by going to clear video in your account settings. So that's about it for this amazing new site. I wanted to share it with you because it will literally take your productions to the next level. I'm Joe with the Film Alliance. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, have a nice week.